How about that, everybody? Some defense for a change. The most complete defensive performance of the entire season for the Washington Wizards. And it leads to the fourth win of the year. How about that? Let's break it all down here on Locked On Wizards.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
DC family, you are locked on to the Washington Wizards, where you're part of our family. We thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL Live bets all season long. Alongside the DC Sports content creating Savant Abdul-Ayubi, I'm Ben Strober, and I cover the Washington Wizards for Roundtable IO. How about that? 89 points allowed today, AB, by this Wizards team. It's the first time since February 24th of last season that the Wizards allowed under 100 points to the game. In that game, they gave up 99 to the Brooklyn Nets. Complete defensive shift today than we've seen all year long.
When was the last time the Washington Commanders and the Washington Wizards won a game, Ben? We have to look that up. Tonight, only giving up 89 points, and on top of that, you won by 19 points, only giving up 15 points in the second quarter, 19 in the third. I mean, this team defensively played amazing today, and just overall, Justin Champagnie, Marvin Bagley combined for 28 rebounds, and a good amount of them were offensive rebounds. Both of them with a double-double. Love this. This is the Wizards that we want to see. A team that we understand the Pacers, they're just like us. They're not winning a lot of games. However, you went out there and competed. You went into Indiana and won. And I just love how this team played offensively. Trey Johnson bounced back 14 points. So many people out there are questioning the guy. He's a rookie. Give it some time. I can't stand some Wizards fans sometimes. Bub Carrington, 11 points. Will Riley, 12 points. People are going to talk about Kent Whitmore, and I'm done with it. I'm not done with him, but I'm done talking about the situation. He didn't play today. We're going to talk about the guys that did play today. And on top of that, the Wizards get a win. And not only a win, Ben, 19 points. I mean, you love to see it.
And a big reason why they won this game as well is because of Marvin Bagley. And we got to commend him a ton for what he's done off the bench for this Wizards team this year. But now, with the injury to Alex Sarr, they're being cautious with Sarr right now. He hasn't progressed to the point where you see him getting on the court to get some of that work in like Trey Johnson was when he was injured. They're still letting him progress slowly. Marvin Bagley has filled in really nicely for this Wizards team. I love his effort. I love his energy. He was everywhere on the offensive glass today. A couple of those possessions where Drew Gooden at one point says it seemed like the guy is stat padding out there because he's getting every offensive rebound, going up with intensity, and getting it done. You love to see how he has filled the role this year that he has, and that's been kind of a nice surprise for me because all offseason long we talk about this Wizards franchise and how they haven't really prioritized getting that second big alongside Alex Sarr, how they didn't have much depth in the front court. But since Sarr has gone down, I've been satisfied with the way Bagley has played, with the way Tristan Vukcevic has played. And today, with the defense locking down the way it did, it's refreshing to see. This was a team that was supposed to be a better defensive team this year. You preached it the entire offseason that you were going to be better defensively. You were going to lock in, make life hell for the opponent. And today was finally a resemblance of showing that you can do that. Just looking at the totals, Indiana shooting around 30% from the field in this game, abysmal from three as well. They locked in. They were all over the place, and Bagley was a big reason why. A couple of other guys like Jamir Watkins as well. We'll get into that in a minute, though, AB. I want to get your thoughts on Bagley and his performance this season so far.
I mean, Ben, this is a guy, Marvin Bagley, where you traded him, the Memphis trade, bring him back, and people were making jokes about it. But with Alex Sarr out, 23 and 14, and there was a play down late in the game where he had like 3 offensive tip-ins in a row, and he just looked like he wanted it more. This is a Marvin Bagley that, let's be honest, when he got drafted, was drafted before Luka Doncic, and many people call him a bust, but he has done a great job so far in his NBA career of still being a productive player and stepped up 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block as well. I think, Ben, a lot of people want to talk about trade value. I think this is a guy that you keep, especially in situations like this when you're down without Bilal, without Alex. This is a guy who's a veteran technically, even though he's like 26, 27 years old, very young. He knows the system here in D.C. I don't think it would. I don't think it would make sense to trade him right now. And it just a guy that's very productive and gives you those types of minutes, Ben, is a big reason why you want it. Against the Indiana Pacers team, like you mentioned, they are like us. We're in the same category. Even though with a healthy Tyrese Halliburton, with a healthy team squad, they're probably going to beat this Wizards team 8 times out of 10. But tonight, that just wasn't the case. This is a Wizards squad that understands that we talked a lot in the offseason about being competitive, about playing team defense, about being a team that goes out there and hustles. And it didn't look like that with that double-digit game losing streak not too long ago that we had. But we're trying to flip the script right now. CJ McCollum tonight, 18.6 rebounds. Keyshawn George, Ben, I mean, this is like a near triple-double, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Just overall, the Wiz kids tonight, on top of Bags, Justin Champagne, I can't talk about him enough. It was great. It was just amazing.
I want to talk about one Wiz kid specifically because he's been getting more run as of late. And I know he started a game a week ago, and a lot of people were confused saying, why would he be starting a game? What makes him deserve to even be in that spot? But coming off the bench, first of all, the bench unit overall today, excellent for the Wizards in this game. You only had 4 guys that came off the bench. All of them I thought were super productive in Vucevic, Trey Johnson, Will Riley. But Jamir Watkins stands out to me, and he's not going to be a guy that fills up the stat sheet like he did on Friday, where he had 15 points connected on 3 of his 4 shots from the outside. Tonight, just 2 points on one of attempts from the field, had a dunk, I think, at one point, if I remember correctly. But this guy is impactful because of what he does in terms of his positioning defensively. And I know that seems like it should be simple, like a guy in the NBA should be able to position himself correctly, where he's there in the help side. He's there to help if the man next to him gets beat, and he's able to see his man at the same time, deny passing lanes. The Wizards haven't done that throughout the entirety of the season, but Jamir Watkins is a guy that instantly provides that ability. We saw the flashes of that throughout the Summer League, his ability to be innate in terms of reading passing lanes, to get in there and make impact defensively on a night-in, night-out basis. We're seeing that. Jamir Watkins, in every opportunity he's been given for this team this season, he's lived up to the billing. He stepped up. This is a guy that you used a second-round pick on, and now you're finally getting some real meaningful production, and he's contributing to the defense playing better right now. This was the best performance. This is definitely an outlier in terms of Wizards defense because you just held a team to under 41 points below your season average of what you typically give up on the defensive end. But Jamir Watkins is a big reason why. He got 15 minutes tonight. You can't take him and Riley out of the rotation right now. Those guys are playing too meaningful of minutes. They're helpful. They're contributing well off the bench. I don't even want to talk about guys right now that aren't playing. I know Cam Whitmore hasn't played in the last 3 games, but you can't deny what Jamir Watkins and Will Riley are doing for this team right now. They're helping you create impact on both sides of the basketball. Will Riley especially always finds himself in a good position. He crashes the offensive glass with purpose. Another good offensive performance for him as well. 4 of 7 from the field with 12 points, just 1 turnover. It's awesome to see that our young guys are finally contributing. This is the first real sense of meritocracy we've seen this year in terms of earning minutes, because Watkins and Riley, they're earning their minutes right now. They're making the most of it, and I think they're going to continue to play.
And remember last time, Ben, when we got blown out by Indiana at Indiana, Pascal Siakam kept getting the ball, Drew Gooden, and you emphasized, why are we not denying the ball? Why are we letting get him the ball? He just scores like that. Tonight, Pascal Siakam, only 11 points, 4 at 12. That's an adjustment. Andrew Nembhard, only 7 points. This Pacers team, yeah, you can say they couldn't buy a basket, but that's in large part due to this Wizards defense tonight. Again, I don't remember the last time we allowed a team to only score 15 points in a quarter. That's just amazing. At one point, you led this game by 22 points, and people want to talk about tanking and you don't want to lose that draft pick. We're going to be fine with the draft pick, but these are the types of games where you look at as Wizards fans and say, this is what we're going to see in the future. This is how we're going to be optimistic. I mean, at some point we were concerned about the fact that we might break the Detroit Pistons losing streak record in NBA history. But now when you see wins like this, you stack up a little bit, and we're hoping to see more of this in the second half of the season. But man, Ben, I'll just keep saying it. You're doing this without Chris Middleton, without Corey Kispert, without Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Hart, Malachi Branham. I know he doesn't provide much, but he still goes out there and gives you some meaningful minutes. And like you mentioned, Ben, what's the point of talking about guys who don't play? It doesn't matter at this point. It's nothing at this point. It doesn't add any value. You talk about Jamir Watkins, a guy who can go out there and give you good defensive minutes. Will Riley, I mean, his game is coming along, and at one point this kid's maybe be a starter on this team, and it goes back to the surplus of wings that you have. I really love it, and I mean, again, Ben, I know I give this guy, he's my favorite. Him and TV, like, they go neck and neck when it comes to my favorites. But Justin Champagnie, again, a guy that's 6'5", 6'6", 14 rebounds. How many guys in the NBA are like that? Only a handful.
It's a good point that you bring up. He's been excellent, and he's lived up to what he's supposed to be as a player every single time he stepped on the floor. It's insane that there were some games early in the season where this guy was getting DNPs or just getting garbage time minutes. I think Keith knows that was a big mistake early on in the season to not give him those minutes. Let's take our first break. When we come back, let's continue to break down the Washington Wizards win over the Indiana Pacers. The holidays always show up faster than we expect, and if you're still putting together gifts, last-minute decor, or getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered. Whether you need a quick room refresh, new bedding, or those final seasonal touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. Wayfair truly is your one-stop shop for everything home with decor, furniture, kitchen essentials, and gifts for every style and every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. Choose whatever fits your voice. Their selection is huge. Bedding, decor, kitchen gear, kids' room updates. I was able to find everything in one place. It's so easy to shop by style. It helps you pick pieces that actually fit your home instead of guessing. The Wayfair items you order will instantly refresh your space without a big project. Wayfair is perfect for gifting too. They have guides, tons of options, and something for everyone on any budget. No massive delivery fees and no stress. Get last-minute hosting essentials and gifts for all your loved ones and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to Wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is the best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. I know so many times this year you probably check those live odds when the Wizards are up by 15 plus heading to the fourth. Today probably wouldn't have been a good idea to live bet the Pacers. The Wizards finally got this one day done today. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive result totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen today, and thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network. You already live the Washington Wizards every day. Now take it up a level and go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club today and get Locked On Wizards with no interruptions, members-only Discord access, and more. All for just $5 a month or $50 a year. Go to LockedOnWizards.com or LockedOnWizards.supercast.com or check the link in the show notes to learn more. All right, we want to get back into reacting to this Washington Wizards win over the Indiana Pacers. It feels good. It's refreshing because we haven't been able to say the Wizards actually won a game because of their defense. Heck, I think in the majority of the wins we've seen, it was like the C.J. McCollum show every single night outside of that first win that we got over Dallas where Keyshawn George stole the show in Texas. But it feels good to finally see this team living up to what its mantras were in the offseason. It took some time, maybe. It took almost 8 weeks into the season. We're seeing forms of meritocracy with Watkins and Riley earning their minutes, and we're seeing them try to buy in more and more on the defensive side. I don't think they have the horses to be a great team defensively, but tonight was a step in the right direction. That's the bottom line.
And it'll look better when you have Bilal back and Alex Sart, two guys defensively that can help you alongside a performance like this. Maybe you hold the Pacers under 80 points. I mean, I'm just spitballing out there. On average, Ben, this team gives up around 129 points a game, and giving up 89 tonight against a Pacers team where not too long ago you got blown out by them in Indiana. Very much improvement, to say the least. And Bub Carrington, Ben, I know a lot of people, there's a lot of Bub haters out there, doubters, saying that he should be sent to the Capital City Go-Go. I think it was absurd. I talked about how his aunt was in the Wizards subreddit defending him, and rightfully so. Tonight, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. you have to let the guy find his groove. Maybe he is not that pure point guard that we desperately need on this roster, but he can carve out a role here. And again, Ben, I'm not concerned about our draft pick. I think we're still going to be contending, hopefully, for a top 3 pick in this draft. AJ DeBonza, I mean, every day, Ben, I'm just dreaming about him being a Wizard. I can see it. And I think tonight, Tristan Vucevic, 6 points, 3 rebounds. It's just like everyone, even Jamir Watkins, 2 points, the 5 rebounds. Like everyone came and contributed in some form or fashion. And again, you have a Pacers team where I'll keep mentioning it. Like you got destroyed by this, and you understand that right now this is a squad that you're not competing, or both teams, but you want to go out there and say that we're going to be a team that's going to be competitive in the future with this Eastern Conference. I mean, right now the Knicks are probably the favorites to win the East. This Pacers team went to the finals not too long ago. So with all that being factored, I think it was a good Sunday for our Wiz and our Commanders. I got to look it up. I actually don't know when the last time both teams won. I remember the last time the Wiz, the Redskins, and the Capitals won. That was like in 2016, right? It was 2015, right?
Yeah, I remember there was one time where like the Nats, the Redskins at the time, and the Wizards all won on the same night, and I think like the Wizards and Capitals. No, that wouldn't make sense though, because I was gonna say playoffs, but then that would be the spring, so that wouldn't make any. I don't know. It feels good, and it's funny though because there's probably fans of both these teams that wanted to lose. And I'm talking about the Wizards and the Commanders, because I have a bunch of friends that were saying like we can't do anything right. We should have lost the game. We need to get a top 3 pick. The Giants were terrible today. It would have been tough to lose. We tried. We did try.
I thought we were about to.
Try. And I'm getting off topic here with the Commanders, but yeah, it's good to see both the local teams win. We've seen so much losing this season in the fall. Whether for me it's like Maryland football, the Wizards, the Capitals had a really big losing streak at one point. The Commanders losing all those games. It's fun to see a win, and it's fun to see the Wizards win a game like this because you had the key contributions from your young guys. That's what makes this so much better. We finally win a game where we're not saying like, okay, it's just the C.J. McCollum scores 45 points, vintage C.J. McCollum, 34-year-old, who's not going to be on the team anymore after February 5th. Look at him. He got us the W. Good job. No, we got key contributions for guys off the bench. I want to talk a little bit about Trey Johnson as well, because he had a tough night in his return on Friday. Just 3 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Today, he looked a lot more comfortable. Saw him trying to get in rhythm and take some really nice catch and shoot 3 opportunities. He went 3 of 4 from behind the arc. Only took 1 3 in the second half, which is a little bit unfortunate to see, but he only played in 16 minutes. I think he's still on a minutes restriction. Brian Keefe told us he would be, at least for Friday, but I think the minutes tonight that he played kind of reflective that he's still on that minutes restriction as it stands right now, and we'll see how long that continues, but hopefully you start to see him get unleashed a little bit, because I see the flashes with the guy. I think he just needs the times, he needs the reps, and he needs the offense to be facilitated around him getting open looks. This guy can shoot the basketball better than almost anybody on this team right now. I mean, between Bub, Trey, George, and McCollum, you got good shooters on this team. The Wizards were top 6 in three-point percentage before yesterday. I'd have to double-check where they are today after the performance. Let's see, today they went 10 of 28, so 36%, so not awful, not too great, though, I guess, for this Wizards team in terms of three-point percentage. But I think they're around like 37, 38% overall for the season. You have good three-point shooters on this team, and I know the Wizards want to be a team that takes advantage of that at times, but you don't want to force stuff. You want to get good looks, and I'm happy that Trey may be starting to find his footing. Let's see how he continues to build on it next week.
And you know what will help with that? Having a pure point guard here, which you're hoping to get in the offseason or in the draft, maybe Darian Peterson. But yeah, a guy who can go out there and set a foundation for this team offensively, open up opportunities for guys like Keyshawn George, who don't have to have the duties of being on ball, Trey Johnson, Bub Carrington, maybe even Will Riley at some point. I love the emergence of Will Riley, Ben. I think being assigned to the Capital City Go-Go and to where he is now, you can see the growth, you can see the development. I remember during that draft night, Wizards fans were complaining, why didn't we trade back? Why we didn't pick Walter Clayton? And a lot of people, Will Riley's making those guys eat their words right now. He is a guy who can be versatile offensively, can score on all 3 levels, and defensively, that length, like we mentioned, 6'10" currently. And I just think right now, I know we have had 4 wins so far this season, right? 4, I'm pretty sure. But this is a win, like you mentioned, CJ McCollum didn't have to carry the load. Everyone contributed. JC, Bags, Trey Johnson got into the mix. It wasn't a game where you expected your vets to carry you, and that's more of the wins that we were looking forward to this season compared to the ones that we've had so far.
I already see the comments coming in because we play Wemby twice next week on Thursday on the road. I think that's our next game, so a little bit more rest, actually, coming off the win. You played 2 games in 3 days after having 6 days off, so a little bit of extra rest. I guess they'd probably stay on the road and then go out. I don't think they'd come home beforehand. I'd have to double check, see if they're practicing at home beforehand or not. But you get Wemby twice, who's just coming back from injury. It's going to be fun to see him play at Capital One Arena because, like, I know when I got this job and we started covering the team in person, I was like, oh, dang, like, I'm going to see some of these NBA legends like LeBron and Steph Curry in the building, Giannis I got to see. But now we're going to see the rise of Victor Wembanyama, who's been an absolute freak at basketball this season, just insane. That'll be exciting to see, but I'm excited to see how we match up with him. How are we going to stand the test of Victor Wembanyama? They're going to have to be ready for it because the Spurs beat Oklahoma City yesterday, didn't they?
That was crazy. I mean, the Thunder lost and the Wizards won the next day.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Oh, man, that is crazy to think about. But, oh, man, that's going to be an exciting week next week for the Wizards. I'm really looking forward to some good basketball. I hope we really start to see this defense lock in and buy in. Let's continue to build on this thing. All right, when we come back, your favorite post-game segment on the Locked On Wizards podcast. Win edition, though, it's your time to let it all out. Let's be real, making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress, I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. When it comes to performance, sometimes your body needs a little extra support, and that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online. No awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. If prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process is fast, simple, and private. It's all handled by real doctors. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNBA so they know we sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves. You know what time it is. It's your favorite post-game segment. This time it's a win. I don't even know if you're letting it all out. Maybe you're just cheering with joy. We're going to rename the segment Cheering with Joy for today. I'm kind of just kidding about that, but AB, get us started.
We gotta find a sound that we can use for this segment, Ben. I can definitely.
Yeah, I need to invest in like sounders for this pod. I'll do that.
Locked on Law, good to see you, buddy. Says who can blow a 20-point lead in 7 minutes? The Wizards can. So I'm assuming he was doing this in the middle of the fourth quarter. Like Ben mentioned during the FanDuel ad read, it would have been a smart idea, but tonight the Wizards, they held on. I mean, I know against that Cavs game they blew that lead when they were in the late in the third, but that wasn't the case tonight. DMV says, "Oh no." Locked on Law says, "You gotta believe." He also says defense. Wizards lead 102-83. Oh, so you guys were here early. We're all watching the same game, man. Did you expect the score to be different? Oh, so this is like way early. So you guys were in here. Baltimore get up 9-5-3-7. Says Bub earned his spot back. Good for him. Yeah, again, guys, like for as much slack the Bub Carrington was getting, I understand the plus minus, arguably the worst plus minus in NBA history. The kid's only 20 years old. Why write him off? Why affect his confidence by sending him to the Capital City Go-Go? We saw what he did last year as a rookie. Played all 82 games. Just give it some time. Overall, happy with the game, but I think Keith missed an opportunity to have Trey, Will, and Jamir in garbage minutes. Yeah, the rotations is always going to be questionable with Coach Brian Keefe. Seems like every game almost. WizKid Forever says, Bub and Bags. Champagny is definitely a keeper. Well-played team game. Like Ben mentioned earlier, Justin Champagny should be playing every game at least 15 to 20 minutes. I don't care if you're losing by 50 or winning by 70. He should go out there because he makes an impact during the game. Locked on Law also says, Pascal Siakam played like but broken down. I mean, again, how much can you contribute that to the Wizards defense or just Pascal? He says, LOL. Noah, that last bucket for Bub, cash my lay. Okay. Yes, sir. Chuck Best 3780. Nemhart was 0 for 13. I was like, what they do to him in that first half. Yeah, Nemhart, it just was not his night. You love to see it. DMV also says, anyone else watch John Cena's last game? Yeah, that was, I don't know if you're a big WWE guy, Ben, but he tapped out and everyone was frustrated by that. But it was
the script writers cooked up and told him to tap. Is that what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
But John Cena's a legend though, so that was exciting that DC got to host his last ever WWE match, I guess.
Yeah, that's majority of our childhood right there. It was insane. Manager's son says it's crazy Vucevic had the same 3-point attempts as Trey and more than CJ. I'm assuming he's talking about this game. If so, I mean, I can't lie, Vooch, I think you can shoot it from outside, but if it's not falling, I agree. If you take it inside, you're 7 foot. CJ really didn't need to be in the game late, but I'm sure the people betting thought otherwise. Uptown Dre 4000 says, yo, my brotherins, the muscle emoji. Solid Sunday. Skins and WizKids got a dub. 100%. It's always a good day when both of our beloved teams win. Chuck Best 3780 also says, I need a first half recap watching my 49ers. I'll give you the first half recap. The Wizards only gave up 15 points in the second quarter. That's all she wrote. Robin Walker 7428 says, last year we drafted 3 studs. This year we drafted 3 dogs. Okay. I like that. Uptown.
I want to make a point of that because I remember like right after the press conference from Will Dawkins after the draft, we made that video saying the Washington Wizards only drafted dogs. So far, it's aging well. Like they did draft dogs. Like everybody is out there competing night in, night out. Trey Johnson, he competes both ends of the floor. Will Riley is a dog, dude. He competes like a MF out there. Jamir Watkins is a pest defensively. I love the energy those guys are bringing right now. That's your youth competing.
I'll just skip this comment. Chuck also says, Bags should not be traded. He needs to get Corey Kispert treatment. He can be a backup big on a winning team. I don't know, Ben. Like I mentioned it earlier, do you think there's a possibility where he might get shipped at the deadline?
Oh, I don't know. Like,
because if you let him go, it's just TV and Alex Sarr, and you're already thin at the front court position.
Yeah, like I like Bagley right now. I like what he's doing. I like what he provides off the bench typically in that fashion. I don't know. We'll have to save that conversation for another day.
Jack Italiano 5792. I think that's your boy, right,
Jack
Ben?
Toe, yeah.
Yes, sir. Please keep giving Riley and Watkins minutes once we are healthy.
Yeah.
That's a good point. When everyone's back, we expect those guys to get minutes because, again, we are a meritocracy. Chuck also says they tried to take my boy Will Riley out. We got to get Will. I mean, you mentioned it, Ben. His mom follows you on X. It would be nice to have her on the show.
Yeah, we might make that happen at some point. That'd be interesting.
Baltimore,
I mean, you guys let us know if you'd want something like that.
Baltimore Get Up also says proud of Trey and Will. Bub, heck, really the whole lineup today. Jameer could have got more time. Good point, but you got to ease Jameer in, and I expect Jamir Watkins to play a lot also in the second half of the season. Corey Damsler 1290 says, I like George, but he's definitely slowed down. By him running the point forward, it feels slow. It feels like it slows his game down, his limits to what he can really do. We brought that up in a recent pod, Ben, not too long ago, how maybe giving him too much on-ball duties could affect his play. And defenses are starting to figure him out a little bit. But even tonight, on a night where he offensively only gave you 9 points, but 8 rebounds, 9 assists, that's what I love about Keyshawn. He can still contribute in many ways outside of scoring.
Yeah, he fills the stat sheet seemingly every single night, even the nights where he doesn't do a whole lot offensively. And I think I made that point in the Summer League where he went, I think, 3 of 14 in a day. But how many steals did he have? 8? You have 8 steals in a game? Am I remembering that?
I think it was a good amount. I'll tell you that.
I don't remember if it was 8. He had like 5 or more steals. It might have been 8. But I was like, that's what he does. Like, he will contribute in many different ways if he's not scoring, and he's lived up to that billing today.
Baltimore also says, Locked On Wizards, what's this talk about Domantas Sabonis? Trust me, guys.
Go watch our video yesterday.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. We put out a video, so check it out with Greg. It was awesome. Jameer also picked up 5 fouls in those 15 minutes. Do you think it's just the idea of him being very aggressive defensively, Ben? We see that theme with Keyshawn. You think that applies to Jameer as well?
Yeah, I think so. He's going to be an aggressive guy on that side of the basketball. I asked Keith about Keyshawn in his aggressive play style. I said, how do you guys kind of work with him without having his aggression waver? And Keith kind of threw the refs under the bus a little bit, which I thought was interesting. You know, it's like, okay, like I kind of agree with that sense. He said, I don't think the officials are used to the way like we play defense, the way we want to play defense, the way Keyshawn will play night in, night out. I think they're going to get used to it because we don't want him to stop playing defense that way. We want him to be aggressive. So it's good that they're like preaching for him to be aggressive. Maybe there is like a form of coaching, a teaching moment you can have to get him to not foul as much, like pick and choose the spots. But at least they're promoting him to have a really tenacious style of defense. So that's good to hear, I guess.
Like Linnell said, at least they're going out there and trying. It's better than to not try. Shout out Linnell. M. Westside says, yeah, bring his mom on the pod. I think it would be something. It would be something. Wow. Oh, we guys talk about Kelly Olynyk. I saw on subreddit, Ben. It was like the last second of the Spurs Thunder game, and someone just pointed to Kelly Olynyk and said, This ruined my night. Just seeing Kelly Olynyk on the bench, and many Wizards fans, they know what's up with him.
Yeah.
I think, guys, I'm pretty sure that's it. If I miss anything, let me know and comment next time.
There we go.
Let's go, John.
John is in here. John in the stream. What's good, John?
Trey
Johnson is back. He looked good tonight. He shook off some of the rust. That was good to see. Is that it though, AB?
Chuck also says, hey, fellas, can y'all get Drew Gooden on the pod?
Yes.
I got questions for my guy.
Yeah, we could definitely get him on. I talk to him all the time in the media room, like before the game. He's a super cool dude. Him and Chris Miller will sit down and chat with me a lot. Love hearing Drew's insight. He's got a lot of great stories from when he played with these good Wizards teams years ago. So we'll work on that. We'll definitely get him on the pod at some point. But you guys also have to remember with a guy like Drew, he's not going to throw anybody under the bus. Like, he is a commentator for the team. So don't expect him to be telling you like so and so can't play defense or whatever. He's not gonna say that stuff. But he'll be fun to have on here.
Yeah, Drew, he won't be able to call someone out like that, but he definitely provides you great insight. Last one, Robin Walker 7428 says, one more. We'll be like OKC, get the fouls called now, and in future they won't call it. Again, OKC, I don't know whether it was a 16-game winning streak. I still think, Ben, they're going to break the record when it comes to wins in a regular season.
I still think have a very good chance of doing it. They've seemed unstoppable. But, you know, there could be an injury. There could be a lot of different factors that lead to it not happening. So it's hard to say, but they do look like one of the best basketball teams ever right now. So that'll be a fun story to follow. How about that? We got to talk about a win. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to all of you guys that chimed in, that join these lives every single time. We recognize a lot of you guys by name, but everydayers of this channel, we appreciate you that much. You guys are fighting through what is the third year of a rebuild, third year of a tank. But on nights like this, we get to have a little bit of fun because the youth contributed to a win. The Wizards allow under 100 points for the first time since February of last season. It felt good to do it, and we thank you for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every single day. Abdullah is dancing finally. It's good to see that as well. For your second listen, check out the Locked On NBA Fantasy Basketball podcast hosted by Josh Lloyd. All right, everybody, that'll do it for us. For my co-host Abdullah Yubi, I'm Ben Strober, DC family. Talk to you later.